Have you ever just had that feeling, that there's more to reality than what we can see and touch? That maybe, just maybe, you have these hidden abilities that are just waiting to be unlocked? Well, according to the source material we're diving into today, you absolutely do. So let's get into it, this incredible system of mystic superpowers and the cosmic rules that actually run the whole show. Here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll explore what these untapped superpowers are all about. Then, we're going to look at the 3 different worlds or planes of existence that you are literally shaping right this second. After that, we have to talk about a pretty serious warning, the dangers of the lower astral world. And finally, we'll get to the good part, the system for learning how to navigate all of this, something called Soul School. All right, let's jump into part 1. This is the big idea, the foundation for everything else. You have this incredible, untapped potential. And we're not just talking about being a talented artist or good at math. No, we're talking about real abilities that tap into unseen energy forces. So let's just ask it straight up. Do you have hidden superpowers? The answer from this material is a huge, resounding yes. But these aren't like what you see in the movies. It's not about flying or shooting lasers from your eyes. It's something much deeper, way more fundamental, and you gotta earn it. And here's the key takeaway from this quote. These abilities, they don't come from just our physical world. They are a connection to an energy that we can learn to work with. So how do you do it? Well, the secret isn't about hitting the gym. It's all about your inner quality. And it all comes down to this one word, virtues. Now, these aren't just about being a nice person. In this system, virtues are described as the actual, literal building blocks of your soul. They're the antenna, the interface that connects you to all that spiritual energy. So, for example, really mastering a virtue like compassion could actually unlock an ability to heal. Mastering virtues is how you get the superpowers. What's so fascinating here is this idea of duality. It's almost exactly like the Force versus the dark side in Star Wars. You've got 2 paths, one of virtue, one of immorality, and both can access these mystic skills. But, and this is a huge but, they tap into completely different kinds of energy, and they lead to wildly different outcomes for your soul. I absolutely love this analogy because it just makes so much sense. The powers themselves, they're totally neutral. They're just a tool, like a sledgehammer. And a sledgehammer can be used to build a beautiful home, or it can be used to smash everything to pieces. It all comes down to the intention of the person holding it. Okay, now let's see how this whole thing gets even bigger. Because every time you use that sledgehammer, every single thought, word, and action you take, you're not just making a ripple in this world. You are simultaneously building your reality in 2 other unseen worlds. So the source describes these 3 worlds as just different frequencies of light energy. We're all here in the physical world, right? That's the medium frequency, the one we can see and touch. But at the exact same time, we're also creating in a much higher frequency, the etheric world, and a lower one, the astral world. Think of it like the light spectrum. We can see visible light, red, green, blue, but we know for a fact that ultraviolet and infrared exist, even though our eyes can't see them. The source says it's the exact same thing with these planes. Just because we can't see the etheric or astral worlds doesn't mean our actions aren't having a huge, massive impact there. And this slide really breaks down the difference between those 2 unseen worlds. The etheric plane, that's like your cosmic savings account. It's a heavenly paradise you build with every good, virtuous thought and action. The astral plane, on the other hand, well, that's where all your karmic debt goes. It's a chaotic, messy junkyard built from every non-virtuous choice. And this is where it gets really serious. There are no neutral actions. According to this text, every single moment of your life is an act of creation. You're either building up your beautiful etheric home, or you're tossing more trash onto the junk pile in your astral backyard. You are literally, right now, building your own afterlife. So, if we're all busy building this astral junkyard, what's it actually like? This is where the source gives a very, very stark warning. The astral plane is not a place you want to end up. The text describes it as just this chaotic, disorienting nightmare. Imagine an amusement park that was designed by a madman, where the rides are all broken and the laws of physics just don't apply. And once you're there, it's incredibly hard to get out. The source says souls can get trapped there for what feels like 1,000 years, completely forgetting that any other reality, like the physical world or that beautiful etheric home, even exists. And if that wasn't bad enough, it's also home to some really malevolent beings.
The text literally calls them astral vampires because they have to feed off the mystic energy of other souls just to survive. These are not your friendly neighborhood spirits.
And this might be the most powerful warning in the entire text. It's a place of total deception. I mean, this quote says it all. Looking for a spirit guide there is like handing your life savings to a total stranger on the street. Any guidance you find is completely untrustworthy, coming from beings who are described as cunning, intelligent, and actively hostile to your soul's progress.
Okay, I know that sounds pretty grim, but the system laid out in the source isn't just about dark warnings and dangers. It also gives us a really clear path forward, a structured way to actually learn these cosmic laws and win the game. So this is the big question, right? If this whole cosmic system is real, with all its rules and different worlds, how are you supposed to learn how to navigate it all? Well, the answer is, you're already enrolled in the school. The source material calls our life, right here on Earth, Soul School. It's not a place of punishment. It's an experimental lab. It's where we get to practice working with all these mystic energies and powers. And all those challenges in your life, they aren't random. They're the tests you need to pass to master the lessons. And of course, every school needs teachers. In this system, they're called the graduated masters. These are souls who've already been through Earth Soul School. They passed. And now, from their home base in that high-frequency etheric plane, they help guide and teach all of us who are still students. They even write the instruction manuals, like the very books this explainer is based on. And they can sponsor worthy students, giving them an extra boost of energy to help them pass their tests. But here it is, the main test for every single student. The world is flooded with information, but not all of it is true. The text warns that tons of fake books are out there, written by false teachers, and they mix, say, 90% truth with 10% poison mushrooms of misinformation. Your number one challenge is to develop the inner sense, the discernment, to tell the difference. And this quote just sums up the whole journey perfectly. It's a path of continuous learning. You just keep repeating the lessons, maybe even repeating a whole grade level until you've truly mastered it and passed your tests. Graduation isn't just handed to you, it's something you achieve. And all of that leaves us with one final, very personal question. If this really is how reality works, if your life is a classroom, then what lesson are you here right now to finally master?